Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 2014, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. Which historical period in the United States ended in December 1933? Prohibition. Which ingredient found in tonic water was the first drug successfully used to treat malaria? Quinine. What is a cyclonic tropical storm with sustained winds of at least 74 miles per hour called? Hurricane. What gas gives fizzy drinks their fizz? Carbon dioxide. How many nautical miles is 1 minute of longitude at the equator? 1 nautical mile. Which beloved cartoon character was designated as NASA's safety mascot during the Apollo program? Snoopy. In 1937, the BBC broadcasted its first live television coverage of which famous tennis tournament? Wimbledon. In the French Revolutionary calendar, which month corresponded roughly to June and has a name meaning harvest? Messidor. What is the clinical term for an intense fear of being contaminated by germs? Answer: mysophobia, also spelled missophobia, often called germophobia. Which invertebrate was filmed using a tool for the first time? Veined octopus, Amphioctopus marginatus. During the late 1950s to mid-1970s conflict in Southeast Asia, fighting in which country became associated with extensive helicopter use? Vietnam. What type of naval ship uses a steam catapult to launch aircraft? Answer: aircraft carrier. Cragside in Northumberland was the first house to be lit by electricity generated from what source? Answer: hydroelectric power. True or false? X-rays have longer wavelengths than microwaves. False. Which artist painted the famous portrait of Dr. Gachet, depicting a doctor noted for his compassionate nature? Vincent van Gogh. Which woman is widely regarded as the greatest trick shot shooter of all time? Annie Oakley. Which artist released the 1977 song Watching the Detectives, which blends elements of punk and new wave? Elvis Costello. The movie I, Robot was based on a collection of stories by which famous science fiction writer? Isaac Asimov. What type of radiation discovered by Wilhelm Röntgen in Itzenbap Gyosuwu is commonly used in medical imaging to look inside the body? X-rays. Which alloy, prized for its strength and resistance to corrosion, is commonly used in construction and manufacturing? Stainless steel. Which hematological disease is characterized by an excessive proliferation of white blood cells? Leukemia. Which actor, known for starring in the film Mr. and Mrs. Smith, about a married couple who lead double lives, has also earned multiple Academy Award nominations? Brad Pitt. Which 1960 novel by John Updike follows a former high school basketball star who struggles with the responsibilities and disillusionments of adulthood? Rabbit, Run. On I Love Lucy, who were Lucy and Ricky's next door neighbors and best friends. Fred and Ethel Mertz. Which actress, known for her roles in both film and television, is married to actor Dax Shepard? Kristen Bell. What is the commonly used name for the four-stage model of learning that includes unconscious incompetence and conscious competence? Answer: the four stages of competence, also called the conscious competence model. Who was Richard Rodgers' lyricist partner before he teamed with Oscar Hammerstein II? Lorenz Hart. Which continent lies across the Drake Passage from Antarctica? South America. Which breed of dog is traditionally associated with firehouses and firefighting because of its historical role as a carriage dog? Dalmatian. In traditional anniversary gift lists, which material, symbolizing durability and creativity, is commonly associated with the 9th wedding anniversary? Pottery. Which play, set in a small American town, explores everyday life and the passage of time, highlighting the beauty of ordinary moments? Our Town. In what year did Chilean President Salvador Allende die during the military coup in Chile? 1973. Which classic song, famously covered by Fats Domino, features lyrics about finding joy and love in a nostalgic place mentioned in the title? Blueberry Hill. What first occurred in the 1934 FIFA World Cup final between Italy and Czechoslovakia? It was the first World Cup final to be decided after extra time. What is the common medical term for the condition known as pyrexia? Fever. What color are the berries of the mistletoe plant, often associated with holiday traditions? White. What two-word phrase refers to the smallest amount of fissile material needed to sustain a nuclear chain reaction? Critical mass. Which popular citrus-flavored soft drink uses the slogan, "Obey your thirst"? Sprite. What type of staircase winds around a central axis and is commonly found in towers and lighthouses? Spiral staircase. In Roman mythology, which goddess of love and beauty was famously linked romantically to the mortal Adonis? Venus. In Indian cuisine, which vegetable is commonly called aloo? Potato. Which type of plant did Gregor Mendel famously use in his experiments to establish the principles of heredity? Peas. Which two iconic musicians collaborated on the hit song Ebony and Ivory that celebrates harmony and coexistence? Answer: Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder. Which animal is mentioned most often in the Bible? Sheep. Which international organization first convened in 1920 with the aim of promoting peace and cooperation among countries after World War I? Answer: the League of Nations. Name one of the Washington Post journalists who uncovered the Watergate scandal. Bob Woodward or Carl Bernstein? Which geologic period immediately preceded the Jurassic? The Triassic. Both A Handful of Dust by Evelyn Waugh and The Grass is Singing by Doris Lessing took their titles from lines by which poet? T.S. Eliot. What is the largest state in the United States by land area? Alaska. How did the poet Alexander Pushkin die in 1837? He died from wounds sustained in a duel. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.